Jamari stood in disbelief, his mind racing to comprehend the gravity of the situation. Damon's veiled threat sent a chill down his spine, a sensation foreign to a man of Jamari's stature. For the first time, he faced a formidable adversary, one capable of shattering his decades-long reign.
Fuck. What audacity.
For the first time in Jamari's life, he felt what it means to be in crisis. He cussed every moment he took a breath. For getting in trouble with such a big opponent, he was getting bigger than the Serafino family. He snorted, and getting back on the phone, he said,
"What kind of place do you think this is?"
as slammed the phone shut, but his hands trembled uncontrollably, betraying his facade of composure. Jamari had been the kingpin in Andover province for decades. How could a newbie, a man in his 20s, be the reason he was scared? Jamari's hands quivered with an unfamiliar fear, a stark departure from his usual confidence. How had his son entangled himself with such a formidable foe? Damon's power loomed over Andover province like an unyielding force, capable of reshaping its very landscape at will. The butler standing next to him saw his condition and said,
"Sir, is everything all right?"
Jamari's gaze darted to his loyal butler, seeking solace in the face of uncertainty. Yet, even in his trusted aide's presence, the weight of Damon's threat bore heavily upon him.
"What's the situation outside?"
"Your plan earlier was sound, but trouble has found us. Mr. Josh's men have breached our defenses."
Jamari's facade faltered, his disbelief palpable as he grappled with the reality unfolding before him. How could Mr. Josh's men infiltrate their stronghold with such ease?
"What?"
"Our attempts to contain them have proven futile. It seems Mr. Josh's men fear nothing, not even their own lives."
"Didn't the others deal with him?"
Butler shook his head and said,
"The authorities may view Mr. Josh favorably for his actions today. They are almost in gratitude towards him."
Jamari's fury surged, his resolve hardening as he realized the gravity of the situation. Mr. Josh's newfound status as a hero threatened to undermine everything Jamari had built.
"Sir, you know that it's not convenient for police to deal with this kind of thing. If someone can take the blame for them, they will be happy. This time, Mr. Josh may become a hero of the higher authorities."
"He must be dealt with. Find someone capable and eliminate him."
In the aftermath of Damon's treachery, the once vibrant halls of Agape Charity lay in ruin, echoed with the whispers of betrayal and despair. Jamari, consumed by grief and rage, stood amidst the wreckage, his eyes ablaze with vengeance. Jamari clenched his fists, his jaw tight with determination, as he confronted the butler, a sense of urgency in his voice. Damon drove his woman to death, and now he didn't even spare Agape Charity. He couldn't wait to kill Damon on the spot.
"Sir, no problem. You don't have to worry. However, we have to wait until this matter is over. Otherwise, people will find out our intentions."
Jamari nodded solemnly. His expression mirrored Jamari's seriousness.
"Of course. We must proceed with caution."
Jamari's gaze flickered, a question burning in his eyes.
"By the way, is Kingsley here?"
The mention of Kingsley invoked a sense of anticipation, his reputation preceding him even in the darkest of times. Kingsley Hamilton, the enigmatic second son of the Hamilton family, a name whispered in hushed tones among the elite circles of society. For the Hamiltons, power and influence were currency, and Kingsley wielded it with a calculated precision. The butler bowed his head respectfully, his tone deferential.
"I'll contact him right away, sir."
As the butler hurried off, a sense of foreboding hung heavy in the air, the weight of impending retribution palpable. The stage was set for a showdown of epic proportions, where alliances would be forged and destinies would be sealed. At the grand entrance of the mansion, the butler rushed to answer the door call, his anticipation evident in every step. The door swung open, revealing Kingsley standing tall and resolute, a figure of authority in his military attire.
"Sir, Kingsley is here."
Jamari's face lit up with genuine delight, his eagerness palpable as he walked forward to greet him.
"Kingsley, we haven't seen each other for several years, have we?"
As Jamari and Kingsley exchanged pleasantries, a sense of camaraderie filled the air. their bond forged through years of shared experiences and trials. Kingsley wasn't his real name, but he was known by this code name bestowed upon him. Looking at his attire, we could see that he must be a soldier of exceptional skill and prowess. His presence commanded respect, a testament to his status within the ranks of the elite special forces. Jamari's expression shifted, a hint of concern clouding his features as he addressed Kingsley with a sense of urgency.
By the way, why did you come so early?
Jamari's confusion was evident as he grappled with Kingsley's unexpected arrival, his brow furrowed in puzzlement.
You don't know?
Did the family head tell you to come?
The mention of the Hamilton family was that of an authority, a reminder of their formidable influence within Andover Province. In a realm where power and prestige reigned supreme, the Hamilton family's word was law, their reach extending far and wide. But even they could not foresee the betrayal that lay ahead. Moreover, Damon's behavior humiliated the Hamilton family. Kingsley's gaze shifted, his eyes locking onto the distant military district with a sense of apprehension.
Jamari, aren't you ashamed enough?
Jamari's disbelief was palpable as he struggled to comprehend Kingsley's accusation.
What?
You exposed the location of the Hamilton family military district. Did you know that?
Jamari was shocked to hear these words. Kingsley's accusations were a stark reminder of the consequences of Jamari's actions, and his words carried the weight of betrayal and consequence. Didn't people already know about this a long time ago? The Hamilton family had somehow shared information about this place with other people before. It was exactly because of this that the higher-ups had to give face to the Hamilton family.
Then I will tell you why I came here.
Kingsley's words cut through the silence like a knife, his demeanor grim as he unveiled the truth behind his unexpected arrival. Jamari's heart pounded in his chest as Kingsley took out the handcuffs, a symbol of his betrayal looming large. Jamari wondered if there had been a mistake. He had called his for his protection and to deal with Damon. But where was he going with this?
Kingsley, what are you doing? This is a matter of pride for the Hamilton family. Do you want to take advantage of me when I'm in trouble? You must be crazy.
Jamari's voice trembled with disbelief and indignation. His world crumbled around him as he confronted the harsh reality of his predicament. He finally understood. Family fighting over inheritance. Betrayed by the very man he once trusted with his life. Jamari grappled with the harsh truth that even within the hallowed halls of the Hamilton family, loyalty was a fragile currency easily traded for power and prestige.
You think too highly about yourself. I am not here to take your life. It's about the Hamilton family's reputation. Huh. You couldn't even handle a man in his 20s.
He briefly paused to sneer at him and then continued.
It's the head of the Hamilton family's idea to arrest you. If you go and apologize to Damon now, you will have a chance to negotiate with him. That means the Agape charity still has a chance.
Kingsley's words echoed in the silence, his tone laced with disdain as he delivered the final blow to Jamari's shattered pride. Jamari's world spun as he struggled to comprehend the enormity of his betrayal. His faith in the family shook to its core. Jamari's voice quivered with disbelief, his faith in the family shattered by Kingsley's damning accusations.
I don't believe it. What if he doesn't let me go?
If he doesn't, the Hamilton family will prove its innocence by voluntarily turning you over.
Kingsley's words stabbed him like a dagger, leaving Jamari completely dumbfounded and hurt by this betrayal.
You were just messing with me, aren't you? It's not nice to take a dig at a person who's already at the bottom.
But Kingsley's words cut through the air like a blade. His tone dripped with contempt as he revealed the harsh truth that Jamari so desperately wanted to deny.
Don't think that the Hamilton family doesn't know that you dealt with Damon just to help Samantha. You have violated the family rules just by this matter. Not to mention you have two heavy hitters impeaching you right now.
Jamari's mind reeled as he grappled with the implications of Kingsley's words, his sense of betrayal mingling with a profound sense of disbelief.
Who is it?
The weight of Kingsley's revelation was a heavy blow on Jamari's conciseness, the silence punctuated only by the sound of Jamari's ragged breaths as he waited for the answer. And then, in a whispered confession, Kingsley revealed the names that will forever alter the course of Jamari's destiny, plunging him into a maelstrom of doubt and despair. He took 2 names.
Was this Damon's power? Why was he so powerful?
He wondered how a man in his 20s could be so powerful. As Jamari struggled to make sense of the chaos unfolding around him, he reached for his phone, his fingers shaking with a mixture of fear and determination. With trembling hands, Jamari dialed a familiar number, his last hope resting on the shoulders of a trusted ally in the face of overwhelming adversity.
Dad, how is it going?
Jamari's voice crackled through the line, his tone grave and foreboding as he imparted words of caution to his son.
Son, from now on, you should recall carefully what feud you had with Damon. You have to know which hatred can be offset and which ones can't be offset.
Theodore's expression shifted. A glimmer of determination shined in his eyes as he responded with unwavering resolve. He answered with a smile on his face, unaware of the situation at hand.
All of them can't be offset.
Jamari's gaze hardened, his frustration bubbling to the surface as he delivered a sobering ultimatum to his son.
If all of them can't be offset, then you will have to go see his girlfriend right now.
Theodore's disbelief was palpable as he grappled with the weight of his father's words, his mind racing to make sense of the unexpected directive.
Go to see his girlfriend.
Jamari's voice softened, his words carrying a sense of urgency and concern as he implored his son to take decisive action.
Theodore, I remember that you have a team of doctors. Hurry up and get them to help Damon's girlfriend. She must be cured.
Theodore's resolve solidified as he absorbed his father's instructions. Thinking about the hints hidden in his father's words, he said,
Dad, I don't understand what you mean. Do you want me to do something to Damon's girlfriend? Likely, though, security has been tight around his girlfriend. It's not easy for me to get in there.
Jamari's voice was full of rage through the line, his anger palpable as he lashed out at his son with a fierce intensity.
Do something to her? What the fuck? Don't you pick up on my tone? Go and flatter Damon. Beg him to let go of you and the Hamilton family at all costs. Do you need me to repeat everything to you?
Theodore's breath caught in his throat, his heart pounding in his chest as he struggled to comprehend the gravity of his father's words. Theodore's world spins as he grapples with the harsh reality of his father's fury, his sense of dread mounting with each passing moment. Theodore's hands shook uncontrollably as he struggled to maintain his composure, his mind racing to make sense of the impossible situation unfolding before him. He just went to their military base, and instead of coming back stronger, he seemed weaker.
I am going to beg Damon for mercy?
But Jamari's voice broke no argument, his tone cold and unforgiving as he delivered his final command with an air of authority that left no room for dissent.
What else do you think? Now, the whole Andover province is paying attention to the Agape charity's news, and even the country is paying attention to it. So is also the family's order. Hurry up. Try your best to please Damon.
Theodore's world spun as he struggled to come to terms with the reality of his situation. His sense of betrayal mingled with a profound sense of despair. And so, amidst the chaos and uncertainty, Theodore found himself thrust into a world of deceit and manipulation, his fate hanging in the balance as he navigated the treacherous waters of family loyalty and personal ambition. But with his father's words echoed in his ears, Theodore knew that he had no choice but to comply, lest he face the consequences of defiance. Theodore stood before the entrance of the Agape charity, his mind swirled with disbelief and despair as he grappled with the harsh reality of his father's orders.
Then what about the Agape charity? Are we shutting them down now?
His voice trembled with uncertainty, his world shaken to its core by the revelation of his father's true intentions. Theodore's heart sank as he confronted the bitter truth that his father, the man he once revered and admired, was not the figure of strength and integrity he had always believed him to be. Jamari's voice was heavy with resignation as he revealed the family's plan to salvage what remains of their tarnished reputation.
We're not shutting down. Not only did we not shut the door, but we are going to keep the door open. We'll let the police check and hand over the evidence voluntarily.
Fuck.
Theodore's disbelief was palpable as he struggled to come to terms with the enormity of his father's decision. His mind reeled with the implications of their actions. He stood frozen in place, his heart heavy with the weight of betrayal and disappointment. Just a day ago, the Agape charity stood as a beacon of hope and inspiration, a testament to the Hamilton family's legacy of philanthropy and compassion. But not anymore. His gaze swept over the chaos before him, the once vibrant halls now silent and empty, a stark reminder of the fleeting nature of success and the fragility of fame. With a heavy heart, Theodore turned away from the ruins of the Agape charity, his spirit battered but unbroken, his resolve steeling him for the challenges that lie ahead. Theodore's hands trembled as he clutched his phone, his voice choked with emotion as he delivered the crushing news to his father.
Dad, the door is open. The Agape charity is over. I'm sorry.
Jamari's heart sank as he listened to his son's anguished cry, his own sense of loss mirroring Theodore's despair.
You can't succeed without failing. Child, the most important thing now is to not offend Damon.
Theodore's confusion was evident as he grappled with the reality of Damon's power, his voice tinged with disbelief.
Damon, is he so scary?
Jamari's voice was heavy with resignation as he acknowledged the true extent of Damon's influence. He was unable to fathom the true extent of Damon's prowess in front of his father.
He's more terrible than you and I imagined.
Jamari, cold and emotionless, hung up the phone, leaving Theodore alone with his troublesome thoughts. Theodore could understand that he was no match for Damon, but even his father's influence got dwarfed in front of him? How could that be? Today, he had lost everything. He thought that Agape charity was the beginning of something big for him, but now it sat dust settling on it. As Theodore sank to the ground in defeat, his spirit shattered by the loss of everything he held dear, a familiar presence appeared beside him. Theodore's gaze lifted to meet the figure standing before him, his eyes narrowing with resentment as he confronted Joyce, a woman whose presence he found both infuriating and inexplicably intriguing. Theodore's voice was laced with bitterness as he demanded answers from Joyce, his frustration bubbling to the surface.
Damon, who the hell is he?
Joyce's response was measured, her tone calm and collected as she offered a cryptic explanation.
He's just an heir.
But Theodore's disbelief was palpable. His anger simmered beneath the surface as he challenged Joyce's assertion.
An heir? Are you kidding me? How can an heir have such power?
As Theodore grappled with the enormity of Damon's influence, Joyce's admission revealed the depth of her own underestimation.
I'd love to know too.
As the doors of the Agape charity swung open, a harbinger of the chaos and turmoil was about to unfold. The air crackled with tension as Damon's men entered the building, their movements swift and purposeful as they retrieved a vital document before slipping away unnoticed. Damon stood at the threshold, his expression devoid of triumph as he surveyed the aftermath of his calculated strike. For him, victory was merely a foregone conclusion in the face of the Hamilton family's formidable might. Damon's phone interrupted the eerie silence, his senses alert as he answered the call. His heart sank at the sound of Faith's voice on the other end.
Damon, what exactly did you do? It's really amazing. Dr. Murray actually came to Tiffany's ward. They said that they were confident in curing Tiffany and they could start the operation immediately.
A sense of dread washed over Damon as he realized the implications of Faith's words, his mind racing to formulate a plan to protect his most vulnerable asset.
Don't let them get close to Tiffany,
Damon exclaimed anxiously. Faith's voice wavered with uncertainty as she struggled to comprehend Damon's urgency.
But they said that the medical skills in Hillwood were not enough, and the medical equipment was not enough, so they transferred Tiffany away already.
Damon's breath got caught in his throat, his worst fears realized as he grappled with the consequences of his oversight. In a moment of clarity, Damon realized that his carefully laid plans had been thrown into disarray, his grip on power slipping as the Hamilton family's resolve wavered in the face of adversity. Damon's heart pounded in his chest as he came to terms with the harsh reality of his situation. In Theodore's eyes, Tiffany was both a pawn and a shield in his high-stakes game against Damon. With Dr. Murray's expertise at his disposal, he saw a potential weapon to wield against his adversary, a bargaining chip to secure his own survival. He must have thought of it when he collapsed and was taken to the hospital. Meanwhile, Faith's voice trembled with fear as she confronted the uncertainty of their situation, her desperation palpable as she sought guidance from Damon.
What should we do?
She remembered that before leaving, Dr. Murray had left a phone number. She immediately called, however it went directly to the voice call. But Dr. Murray's sudden disappearance plunged Faith into a vortex of panic. Her hopes dashed as she grappled with the possibility of losing her daughter.
His phone is not turned on. Is it that he just came to Hoxia so he didn't have Hoxia's SIM card yet?
As Faith's tears flowed freely, her husband Johnson rushed to her side, his concern evident as he tried to comfort her in her moment of distress. But Faith's silence spoke volumes. Her unspoken fears weighed heavy on her heart as she pinned her hopes on Damon's intervention. Meanwhile, Damon's resolve hardened as he prepared to search for Tiffany, his expression grim as he confronted the daunting task ahead.
I'm going to find Tiffany now.
But even as he set out on his mission, Damon knew that his adversary held the upper hand in terms of resources and influence, leaving him to confront the harsh reality of his own vulnerability in the face of Theodore's relentless pursuit of power. With the Agape charity lost and his world crumbling around him, Theodore had become a man possessed, driven to extremes by the weight of his grievances against Damon. In his hands, he held a weapon of unparalleled significance, a tool with the power to shape the course of their conflict. Meanwhile, Damon's urgency was evident as he dialed Jamari's number, his voice tense with apprehension as he awaited Theodore's father's response.
Jamari, I need to speak with you immediately.
Jamari's demeanor was one of subdued reverence as he listened to Damon's call, his own anger simmering beneath the surface as he learned of Theodore's latest transgressions.
What an unfilial son!
His voice echoed with fury as he slammed his hand against the table, his eyes ablaze with righteous indignation at Theodore's reckless actions. With Samantha's death weighing heavily on his conscience, Jamari vowed to seek justice for his beloved wife, his resolve unyielding in the face of Theodore's defiance. Jamari promised a swift action ring hollow as he reassured Damon of his intentions, his words tinged with desperation as he attempted to placate the furious billionaire.
Mr. Hemsworth, don't worry.
Jamari promised and continued.
I'll ask him to send her back right now.
But Jamari's attempts to reach Theodore were met with silence, his calls unanswered as his frustration mounted with each failed attempt. Enraged by Theodore's disregard for his authority, Jamari unleashed a torrent of curses in a blistering text message, his anger boiling over as he struggled to comprehend his son's reckless behavior. After some time, Theodore answered the phone, his voice low.
Theodore, is she with you?
Theodore's response was barely audible, his voice choked with emotion as he struggled to speak. It seemed as if he had been sobbing. Jamari's frustration boiled over as he confronted his son's stubborn refusal to comply with his demands.
Let her go.
With a sudden burst of fury, Jamari freaked out in frustration, his hands slamming against the railing with a resounding thud, bruising it a bit. But Theodore remained unmoved, his resolve unyielding as he defended his decision to hold on to Tiffany.
I won't let her go. Dad, don't think that I don't know. With such a big thing happening to the Agape charity, as long as Damon puts a little pressure on it, the Agape charity would definitely be doomed. Even if we waited for a few more years, there would be no chance for Agape charity to go back to its glory.
Jamari's heart sank as he realized the depth of his son's desperation, his own sense of powerlessness mirrored in Theodore's unwavering determination. And so, amidst the chaos and despair, father and son found themselves locked in a bitter struggle, each grappling with their own demons as they navigate the treacherous waters of betrayal and redemption.
You must release her. This is the Hamilton family's order.
Jamari yelled, with a hint of threat, but Theodore remained unmoved, his tone dripping with disdain as he flouted his father's authority.
Dad, when my mother died, I didn't blame you. You were not at the scene. But now the person who killed my mother is in front of you, and you are still doing nothing. What a coward.
Jamari's heart clenched at his son's words, the pain of Samantha's death still fresh in his mind as he struggled to find the right response.
It's right that my mother wasn't with you at that time. If the people in the Steel Trio knew that my mother had died, they would not let Damon go.
What? The Steel Trio?
Theodore's mention of the Steel Trio sent a shiver down Jamari's spine, his mind racing as he grappled with the implications of their involvement. Jamari knew about the Steel Trio.
Fuck!
And so, amidst the chaos and despair, father and son find themselves locked in a bitter struggle, each grappling with their own demons as they navigate the treacherous waters of betrayal and redemption. Jamari's mind raced with realization as he connected the dots. His heart sank as he understood the gravity of the situation.
No wonder Damon was so emboldened to cause a mess in Andover province just to take on the Hamilton family.
Samantha being involved with the Steel Trio and making use of this relationship to make Theodore the successor of the Serafino family was enough to ruin the whole Hamilton family.
You!
His hands trembled with rage as he confronted Theodore's audacity, his voice thundering with fury as he struggled to comprehend his son's motives.
You're digging your own grave. What the hell are you trying to do?
But
Theodore's response was chilling, his words laced with venom as he revealed his twisted intentions.
What am I trying to do? I want Damon to know the feeling of losing someone as I did.
With a cold determination, Theodore ended the call abruptly, his actions speaking louder than words as he sent a chilling message to Damon.
Do you want your girlfriend alive?
Meanwhile, Damon's phone lit up with a notification, his heart pounding as he watched a horrifying video of Tiffany, his worst fears realized as he grappled with the consequences of Theodore's ruthless vendetta. And so, amidst the chaos and despair, the stakes are raised once again, as Damon found himself locked in a deadly game of cat and mouse with his ruthless adversary, Theodore Hamilton. Damon's hands trembled with anger as he watched the chilling video, his eyes widening with shock at Theodore's ruthless actions.
Damn it, what are you trying to do?
Theodore's voice cut through the tension, his tone dripped with contempt as he revealed his true motives.
What am I trying to do? I'm just giving you a taste of what I've been through.
Theodore's words echoed with bitterness as he recounted the painful memories of his past, his heart hardened by years of betrayal and abandonment. For Theodore, the wounds inflicted by the Hamilton family run deep. His resentment fueled his relentless pursuit of vengeance. Over the years, he had been working hard. He didn't want to rely on the Hamilton family. In Theodore's world, he had long known that he was a descendant of the Hamilton family. However, the Hamilton family's incident back then made Theodore unable to forget. The Hamilton family not only drove his mother and him out, but also beat Samantha until she could no longer give birth. Until now, Samantha had been hating the Hamilton family. In order to take revenge on the Hamilton family, Samantha joined the Steel Trio. She would do anything she wanted, even if she would fall into the abyss. Therefore, Theodore did not want to go back to the Hamilton family. But as Damon grappled with the consequences of Theodore's actions, his heart twisted with anguish at the thought of Tiffany's fragile condition. The scene was fraught with tension as Damon's eyes locked onto the horrifying sight before him, his heart pounding with dread as he realized the gravity of Theodore's threat. Theodore turned the camera towards the sea.
What the hell are you doing?
Damon, there is not much time for you to choose. 2 hours. You have 2 hours. You should know what I want. I am not afraid of death. If I die, you will also be doomed. However, Tiffany is so beautiful, I just want to tell you that she will be a woman one last time before she falls into the sea.
Damon saw that Tiffany was tied to a rope, and if Theodore cut the rope, she would plunge into her death. Damon's fury boiled over. His rage echoed across the desolate landscape as he challenged Theodore to face him head-on.
Aren't you very powerful? Don't you have a lot of tricks up your sleeve? If you can command Mr. Josh to come at your disposal, why don't you do something and save her? Come on, Damon.
Fuck. If you have the guts, come at me.
But Theodore remained unmoved, and he ended the call abruptly, leaving Damon seething with impotent rage. Meanwhile, Thomas looked to Damon for his orders.
Sir, what should we do now?
Thomas knew exactly what Damon was going to do. First of all, he had to solve the matter of the Agape charity. In this incident of the Agape charity, Damon's behavior could be said to have caused a sensation across the country. Until now, there had been no problems with the Agape charity. On one hand, no one dared to investigate them. On the other hand, no one was willing to pay such a big price to do this. Apologize to the Agape charity? Damon certainly couldn't do that. Even if Damon apologized, the Hamilton family wouldn't let Damon off either.
Nothing should happen to Tiffany.
Damon's voice was firm. His eyes blazed with fierce determination as he refused to entertain the idea of sacrificing Tiffany for the sake of appeasement. With his resolve hardened, Damon knew that he must tread carefully, for any misstep could spell disaster not only for Tiffany, but for the Hamilton family as well. And so, amidst the chaos and uncertainty, Damon braced himself for the battle ahead, his heart torn between the demands of justice and the safety of his beloved. Damon felt he was too merciful. No wonder the underground was too active these days. A lot of things would be solved by just talking about it, like a business. However, those beasts don't listen, and they have to be killed. As Damon and Thomas grappled with the urgency of the situation, their resolve to save Tiffany drove them to explore avenues beyond conventional means.
But, judging from the video just now, it should be on the sea. The reason why he chose to go to the sea is that he doesn't want us to find them.
Thomas's furrowed brow reflected the complexity of their predicament. Theodore's evasion tactics posed a formidable challenge, making it clear that time is of the essence.
Compromising can't save Tiffany, Thomas. Tell me something I can use. I don't want to hear the reasons why we wouldn't be able to save Tiffany.
Determined to take decisive action, Damon called upon Justin, a trusted ally whose resources extended beyond the realm of business. Soon a car came in and picked up Thomas and Damon.
Help me check this video.
Justin's expertise offered a glimmer of hope as he delved into the intricacies of the footage, analyzing every detail with precision.
This is...
Thomas looked on aghast.
It is considered a small base.
All successful businesses had their own backstage, but a strong person had strong teams. Thomas was impressed looking at the intelligence Damon was able to gather. It was possible only by the Serafino family, a network of intelligence so strong that it could crumble nations.
Do you have anything on the video yet?
Damon asked, turning towards Justin.
This should be an oil field. It'll take longer if we want to look into the oil fields over the sea.
The urgency of the situation weighed heavily upon Damon as he grappled with the reality of their limited time frame.
How much time will it take?
Damon knew that Theodore won't give the luxury of time. Justin's determination was evident as he vowed to do everything in his power to expedite the search, fully aware of the stakes at hand.
I'll try my best. You try to prolong him.
Justin knew of the urgency, so he left it at that. With time ticking away and Tiffany's life hanging in the balance, Damon braced himself for the challenges ahead, knowing that every moment counted in their race against the clock. The eerie silence of the oil fields in Hillwood set the stage for a clandestine meeting, where Theodore found himself allied with the unscrupulous Viper.
Mr. Hamilton, everything is ready.
A sly grin spread across Viper's face as he assured Theodore of their preparedness, his tone oozing with confidence.
We're able to see within 10 kilometers. You don't have to worry. As long as someone comes near, we can spot them immediately. We are professional in this kind of thing.
Theodore nods, his expression unreadable as he handed over a card, his voice laced with impatience.
There is $750,000 here, and I'll give you the remaining $750,000 right away after the work is done.
The middle-aged man hesitated, exchanging a knowing glance with Viper before voicing his concerns.
Mr. Hamilton, what do you mean?
Theodore's irritation was evident, his frustration rising as he rebuked their lack of trust.
You don't trust us? I've already given you half of the amount. Are you still worried that I won't give you the remaining amount?
Viper's smirk widened, his tone mocking as he dangled Tiffany's fate as a bargaining chip.
Theodore, it has always been about the money first, everything else later. You're the one who can't trust us. Of course, if you don't want to do this deal, we can give Tiffany to Damon.
Theodore's anger flared, his gaze burning with intensity as he confronted Viper's callousness.
You!
But Viper remained unfazed, his taunts cutting deep as he calculated Tiffany's worth.
I think Mr. Hamilton should know how much this person is worth if we give her to Damon. 1.5 million? You're too stingy. It must be more than 1.5 million. The reason I offer you this price is to thank you for giving us the information.
Theodore was left speechless, his mind reeling with the weight of Viper's words as he grappled with the harsh reality of his predicament. As the tension rose, Theodore found himself at Viper's mercy, forced to comply with his demands to safeguard Tiffany's life. Her life was too important right now to have Damon under his thumb.
Okay, I'll give you all the money.
Theodore's voice quivered slightly as he relinquished another bank card, his eyes betraying a mix of fear and resignation.
Please settle this nice and clean.
Viper's smile widened. A glint of satisfaction danced in his eyes as he reassured Theodore with what would be false promises.
You can rest assured about that. So far, we haven't failed any of our tasks.
With a nod from Viper, the tension seemed to ease momentarily, only to be replaced by a silent understanding of the impending danger.
Watch carefully. If anyone dares to approach, just get the weapons.
Viper's command hung heavy in the air, his confidence unwavered as he and his accomplice prepared for whatever may come their way, their resolve unshakable, and the problem was just around the corner. Damon's determination drove him to seek out crucial information, despite the daunting challenges ahead.
It's on the drilling rigs on the east part of Hillwood, but...
Damon's demeanor shifted, his expression clouded with uncertainty as he delivers the news.
But what?
Damon asked hurriedly. Justin immediately suggested.
There are lots of drilling rigs close to the deep sea, and almost all of them are conspicuous. It's harder to find out. We should at least have access to military satellites. This is not the difficult part. The difficult part is that they won't give you so much time.
Damon's mind raced as he considered the implications of their conversation.
Is there any other way?
Normally no one goes to the rigs up here, except for a few workers. They're all automatic machines. Also, from the rig, there's no signal, so it's hard to get in touch.
Suddenly, a glimmer of hope sparked within Damon as he made a realization.
No signal? Then how did they contact us just now?
Damon's curiosity piqued, prompting Justin to ponder the question. Justin smiled at Damon's attentiveness.
Maybe he brought his own signal source, or he could have used a fixed signal from the rig.
Justin's insight led to a breakthrough, reflected in his sudden change in demeanor.
Wait a minute.
Suddenly, Justin figured it out. He checked his screens and smiled. With renewed determination, they pressed forward, inching closer to their goal with each passing moment. Meanwhile, on the oil drilling rigs, the tension mounted as Theodore's impatience reached its peak.
Half an hour has passed. Fuck. Why hasn't he come yet?
His frustration was at its fever pitch, echoed by the urgency in the voice of the lookout.
He's coming, he's coming.
The distant rumble of a speedboat heralded Damon's approach, which prompted Theodore to take decisive action.
Finally. Damon, it is time for you to pay for your arrogance.
With determination in his eyes, Theodore dialed Damon's number. His voice dripped with contempt.
Don't get any closer to me. Deal with Andover Province first. Then transfer $3 billion to my account. You have half an hour.
From his elevated position, Theodore surveyed Damon's approach, exuding an air of superiority.
I told you not to get close to me. Do you want Tiffany to fall into the sea and be devoured by sharks?
Theodore's threat hung heavy in the air, but that didn't deter Damon from stopping.
Well, we still don't know who will be eaten by sharks yet.
As soon as Damon finished speaking, Theodore heard a voice behind his ear.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more great content. Click the notification bell so you never miss an update.